Morning. Today is January 13th, 2016. We are leaving White Cay and going to Rose Island just out of Nassau. And then the plan is from there to duck into a marina for about a week. Load up on fuel, got a couple boat projects. But it's nice, we just motored out just like we have the past couple travel days and raised sails, turn off the engine. Haven't been using much diesel. We're at about a beam reach, going about 5 knots. It's certainly not an easy sail, but it's not horrible either. We've got about 20 more miles to go to our anchorage tonight. Our wind's 15 to 20 knots. Waves are probably 4 or 5 feet. And we're sailing about 5 to 6 knots. So we are cruising. But it's hard work, it's not like it's super easy. So way out in the distance, we have, I don't know, 8 or 9 miles to go, is Nassau. There's some hotels. Oh man, this camera work is so good. And Atlantis, which we're not going to go to, is somewhere over there. Ooh, hold on, we have big waves. Six miles to go. So there you have it. There is the beautiful coastline of the northern side of Nassau. Oh, it's just so lovely to be in the Bahamas. People keep telling us in February we have good weather coming. It's been big waves and strong wind. We'll believe it when we see it. Jill and I were just talking about how since we've been in the Bahamas, we have never had our main with more out than 2 reefs. Because the weather's always been so strong. And our jib too, I don't think we've ever had it fully out. Here's the entrance to Rose Island. It's a little intimidating because there are a whole series of rocks. So we have a decent sized gap, but it's shallow. So it's a little intimidating. Spent yet another rolly night. Started off pretty good and then got really rolly. We haven't actually had a good anchorage in about 2 weeks, so that kind of sucks. But we are headed into Marina in Nassau for probably about a week to let some really terrible weather pass and to just relax a little bit, catch up on boat projects. We have quite a bit to do. Groceries, marine items, and I can do the wave. Well, hello again, our little friends. So we made it to Nassau. We're staying at Palm Cay Marina. Seems like a nice place. We literally just pulled in. It was a little tight, and we had some swells going through this tight little channel, and it was kind of a pain. And even the dockmaster radioed us to give us some words of encouragement because he could tell we were suffering. But we made it in, and we are so bad at docking. We've been living aboard for 8 months now, and we've probably only pulled into a slip 2 or 3 times, maybe. Most of the time, transient docks, we are on tie-alongs. Anyway, so we stuck at docking. But we got in, we didn't hit anything, so that's good. We have our marine shopping list. Chain hook. We totally bent the hell out of our chain hook. If that goes to show, like, how strong of weather we've had. 2-stroke oil, engine coolant, some grease, any courtesy flags, and transmission fluid. And then we're kind of making a grocery store list. We did a huge provisioning, but fresh stuff like eggs, flour, hot dogs, and buns. We love hot dogs and buns. Any fresh fruits and veggies we can get. Cake mix. My birthday is coming up in a couple weeks. We want to make sure we have some cake mix to make a cake for that. Tortilla chips, and that's all we're at so far. I know a lot of our friends are suffering from cold weather in Minnesota, Chicago, and Colorado. But don't think we're not suffering here. It got frigid last night. Just look at this thermostat. 68 degrees. We're practically in a subarctic climate here. We're staying in Nassau at Palm Cay Marina. It's a pretty swank place. I think we're gonna pay about $1.60 a foot or something, and water's 35 cents a gallon. So that's not bad, and the grounds are beautiful. So let's go for a little tour. There's Bosco in a slip. Julie did an awesome job of docking us, but I would say that we are still not pros at docking. Julie's taking lots of photos. We are on pretty much the very last dock. The marina is sort of a U shape, and we're in the bottom part of the U, but it's all the way down there and then over there. So let's go for a walk. So there's a little cafe on site, a Starbucks. They do snacks and sandwiches. We went there yesterday. Dockside Cafe. And then there's some very nice bathrooms. Very nice and modern. The Marina office. And then here's the restaurant. Here's the back of the restaurant. There's sort of the main grounds of the marina. It's all very nice. There's also showers that are nice and modern. and laundry. It's only $1.50 for a wash and dry, which is very cheap for the Bahamas. So we are very much looking forward to our week stay here. Okay, Marina, Southeast Nassau. We're to take the courtesy car out in a couple hours to go to the grocery store and marine store, so that's nice that they have that. Alright, got the courtesy car and we're ready to go grocery store shopping, and go to a marine store, get some supplies. The wheel's on the wrong side, so that's fun. Let's go! This is my very first time driving on the left side of the road, and it's okay. It's basically all the same rules, just on the other side of the road. Shopping list, so let's get to it. Dragon fruits, $14.99 a pound. I guess it's all right.
Just like a Whole Foods.
It is like a Whole Foods. It's very nice.
More money.
Well, we can do a drive around, and if we don't see the marine store, we can just do a separate mission. Just visited Harborside Marine. Got some sail drive oil, motor oil. What else did we get? Coolant, 100-pound fishing line, a new chain hook, and some grease. We did an awesome grocery store trip and got most of our marine supply stuff. So pretty successful, I'd say. There's Costco. I have this theory that for every day you're out cruising, you accumulate 2 hours of boat work. So you can choose to do that 2 hours of boat work, or you can defer it for later, but it always adds up. So we've been out for 2 weeks, so pretty much nonstop, or at anchor for 2 weeks. So we've accumulated about 28 hours of boat work jobs. And so this is our list so far. It's still a work in progress. Clean the water jugs, refill propane, refill diesel, clean the refrigerator sea strainer, clean and lube the steering column. That will be an all-day job. Fix fuel leaks. We found a couple little diesel leaks in our engine. Check the batteries. We have a piece of loose wood in our cabinetry that snaps back and forth as we roll, so got to fix that. Modify the rain catcher. Polish our stainless steel is starting to look a little shoddy. Fix the cabin shade. We have these things that slide back and forth, and we have one that needs to be fixed. Sew companionway screen that ripped. Clean boat. That's always a thing. Amazon wish list. Sooner or later, we're going to stop somewhere long enough to be able to get mail or have people come visit us, so we're going to list together of hard to get items. Check extra fluid stores, so things like oil, coolant, transmission fluid. Oh, we need to add transmission fluid to the marine list. Email marinas and Turks. We're thinking about going to Turks and Caicos for a while, so we kind of want to get some long stay rates. Clean the refrigerator. Go to an ATM. There are hardly any ATMs in the Bahamas, and we are almost out of money. And no one takes credit cards. And pay our bills. Since we've been out at anchor for so long, our bills are pretty minimal. So that is our downtime of staying in Nassau for a week. You almost, when you're out cruising, have to stop occasionally just to catch up on this sort of stuff. So we knew we had a rotten rudder stop because it was on our survey 8 months ago. But we really never checked on things. This is the rudder stop. This should be not broken like that. So it looks like I'm building us a new rudder stop. So I was gonna inspect all this and grease our lubing system. I have to take out all of these screws, and then I realized that this just lifts right up. 8 months we lived on the boat and we didn't know this lifted up. And I actually had looked for our rudder stop and I thought it was back here and I thought it looked fine. But apparently it's really, really bad. So I made a paper template and I'm gonna make a thin wood template, and then I have to find the right size wood somewhere. We have a little bit, but I might just scavenge. So I made my template yesterday, and then I found this scrap piece of wood by the trash. I cut out most of the shape with this piece of wood clamped to the dock and using a sawzall. The sawzall had a flexible enough blade that I could more or less do the curves, but then I was afraid of losing the wood in the water, so I decided to finish this last little cut by hand. So I need to finish shaping these. I'll use the electric sander for that. And then fit them in, glue them in, screw them in, cap it with this aluminum piece, and voila! Instant rudder stop. So I finished shaping my blocks of wood for the new rudder stop with a sander. We have a 2,000 watt inverter on board, so that came in real handy because we don't have any power anywhere near us. So there's my blocks, 2 of them shaped, and I used a mallet to finish hammering them in. And now I have to put a screw here. There's an aluminum plate that screws on right here, and that's what the end of the steering system hits. And then we'll be done. People say that cruising is just boat work in exotic places, and that's becoming very true for us. Since we've been in Nassau, I've cleaned the water jugs, refilled our diesel, emptied the refrigerator sea strainer, cleaned and lubed the steering column, fixed a fuel leak, checked our batteries, repaired a loose cabinet in the cabin, modified our rain catcher, polished the stainless steel, fixed a little shade in the cabin. Let's see, Jill sewed the companionway screen. We checked our stores for oil and that sort of stuff. We paid our bills, I fixed the rudder stop, and did an oil change. So all we have left to do is refill propane, clean the boat, an Amazon wish list, email Marina and Turks and Caicos, clean the fridge, go to an ATM, wipe down all the surfaces in the boat, rinse the bilge, clean the hull, and then fill my air tank. So this afternoon I will clean the hull. Already before lunch I've done an oil change, fixed fuel leaks, and built a rudder stop. So pretty productive day. Not very fun, but pretty productive. So I'm gonna dive down on our boat, and I'm gonna take this camera down with me so I can review the footage on a computer because I wear glasses and I can only see so good down there. So let's go down. So you hold your goggles, you hold all your stuff down, and you look out and you take a giant step. just dove on the bottom of our boat to clean it. Never done that before. It wasn't too bad. We have a skeg rudder, and the bar from the bottom of the rudder from the keel, there's a bolt on the bottom of it, and that was totally undone, so I tightened that up. Scrubbed the bottom of the boat a little bit, got some of the growth. Probably should get new bottom paint sometime soon. So I was talking to some of the other cruisers, and everyone's all in the same boat. One guy was kind of troubleshooting his wind generators because they weren't really working quite right, so he was fixing those. Another guy's solar panel died, and now he's looking at getting a ferry from Nassau to Fort Lauderdale so he can pick up a new solar panel, because it would just take a month to ship it over here. So everyone's doing crappy stuff.
In a pretty place.
In a pretty place. I'm just gonna paddle out the marina and around the corner and see what there is to see. Oh, look at the catamaran. Paddled out to East Point, so the easternmost part of Nassau. It was about 1.5 miles and 1.5 miles back. It's really easy. I barely have to paddle, especially with the wife paddling. I don't have to paddle at all. No, we had a little wind and current against us on the way there, which was fine because we were still spry. And now we have that same wind and current behind us on the way back. It's really nice, and we're going really, really fast. It's nice though, it's nice to get some exercise. It's not boat work. Here's the channel entrance into the marina. You can see a boat coming down right now. It's pretty small. We got some mahi-mahi at the grocery store, so we are doing fish tacos. I have some local sort of green peppers. It's sort of a mix between a poblano and a green pepper. Onions, can of green chilies, a chunk of mahi-mahi, and then we have a coleslaw that I already finished in the fridge. And we're just gonna put that all in a hard shell taco. Taco Bell! Yo quiero Taco Bell! These are the only ones we could find at the grocery store. I spent a good part of the day trying to fix a leak under our sink. Under the sink is the absolute worst part to work on the boat, because there is pipes and hoses and all this crap all the underneath. So I had to work up in this 4-inch space. That's what she said. But we got the leak fixed. And then we've just been working on cleaning up the boat. It's nice and spick and span right now. What else? We're getting lots of neighbors because we're staying here for another couple days to hide from another storm. Tomorrow I'm going to clean the teak, oil it up, make the boat look a little nicer. Ooh, I polished the stainless steel on the port lights. So that's all shiny. Now get to work if you're watching these YouTube videos at work. Get to work. I see you. I see you. Get to work.